everybody, welcome. Here. We're gonna get started. For those of you who've been wandering in, if you don't have one of these papers, can you come up front and grab one real quick? Is there anybody out there who doesn't have one of these little voting papers? You've been here. What's your excuse? Well, everybody else is good? Alright, cool. So we're going to get started. Everybody? Alright, cool. So welcome to week 2 of Video Game Development Association. Thanks all. Yeah, let's start. Thanks to all of you guys for coming back for a second week. It's just going to get even more and more exciting as the weeks go on. So this is kind of what today's schedule is looking like. I'm going to show you our general schedule that we looked at last time just to make sure everybody's still on the same page. We have an introduction. I'll ask if anybody has any questions from last meeting, I'll try and address those. We're going to do our executive and lead pitches today, and that's what those sheets that you guys have are for. We're going to vote on those today. I'll talk about any open positions that are still available. And then we're going to do like a tentative break into teams. So we'll have people break into what teams they want to, just so we can kind of visually see how many people we have for each team. And if we have to reshuffle or something like that, then we can start thinking about that. I'll talk once more about game pitching, and then we'll have final thoughts, and then we're basically good to go. So let's get started. So for the schedule, we already had our first meeting. This is where we are right now, is the voting in of the executive and team leads. Next meeting is when we're going to be voting on the game pitches. After that, or on the same day, we're going to officialize, I don't even know if that's correct, but we're going to officialize our development teams. And then from the 23rd to November 25th is going to be our development timeline. And that'll be meetings, development times, and Trello, which we'll talk about more later. I know I touched on it briefly last time, but we'll go into more detail this time. And then the publish, if possible, and the launch party, and all that good, fun stuff. So anyway, so as far as last meeting, or anybody who's joining us for the first time, are there any questions? Does anybody have any questions about anything at all? No? Everybody's good? Everybody's on the same page? What's up?
Is there anything super important that we missed if we missed the first week?
You missed everything, dude. You shouldn't even dig in. No. As far as super important things we missed, we just saw the schedule. That's important. The game pitching is important. Basically, that's everybody who has an idea that they want to pitch for a game can go and get a sheet and fill it out. And then next week we'll be voting on which game we want to work on as a group. So that's pretty important. I think I do have some double up stuff in here from last week just to remind people. So I think you should get everything by the end of today. It's important. But good question. Any other questions? No? All right, then we'll move on. We have an introduction to do. With us today, we have Mr. David Green over here. If you want to come up and David Green has been really supportive and helping to mentor and advise us. He's worked in the game industry for a number of years, and I will let him continue.
Yeah, so I've been working in the game industry for about 15 years now. Started off back in around about 2000, working for Sony Computer Entertainment. Went on to work for Microsoft, Relentless, and some of the other companies. Basically, I've come along just to help out, give a little bit of mentoring, help answer questions, whether that be towards game development, pitching, or just about the industry. So if you have anything you want to ask me as time goes on, I'll come along when I can on each Tuesday and help out.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And David will also be here. Our next meeting for the game pitches, because he sat in on a number of real pitches in the industry, and so he'll have a lot of good feedback and things like that.
Yeah, I've done quite a few pitches throughout the years myself with other companies, and that's for companies I've owned or companies like Sony, etc. But I've also heard a lot of pitches. A lot of crazy pitches. Like I was just talking about people going, can you build a League of Legends for us? To one coder. things like that, to more of the reasonable pictures or very small pictures. So all I'll say about your pictures, you've got 8 weeks, be careful.
Yeah.
You don't want to go out there and say, I want to build World of Warcraft, every single aspect. It's not going to happen. I really like Grand Theft Auto. You're going to build the whole entire world. You're looking at your 5 artists and they've got sweat running down there. So yeah, keep it reasonable. And I hope to help out and give constructive feedback.
Awesome. Appreciate it, David.
Okay.
Awesome. So that's David Green, everybody. Moving on. So this is kind of the boring part of our meeting, but we have to get it done, like I mentioned last time. So we had some people come and interview, and we have our executive and lead positions that people are pitching for, and we use those sheets to write down a name. Some general rules on the voting: only write one name in the spot provided. Also, not all positions are being applied for. So if you have a blank spot, like director of sound or something like that, or director of finance, don't worry if that box is empty because those haven't been ran for yet. And then also try to wait until all the individuals have presented for a certain position before you write a name in. That's why there's a notes section at the bottom. If you hear something you like and you want to write down a name or something like that, then use that. But at least give all the applicants a chance to present their ideas and present themselves before you write a name in. We're going to start with the executives first. And I figured I would just go first just because. But I am Aaron Lane, and I'm going for president. I think I'm the only one right now. Actually, I think all the executive positions are only one, so you might be able to just write in the one name. I thought we were going to have more, but it turns out we don't. Aaron Lane, president. I'm the founder and president of this organization. I put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into it, and I would like to continue doing so. That's my very brief pitch. Next, we'll bring up Nathan Moore. Wherever he's at. Okay. Yay! Be sure to stand over here. Be sure to stand over here in the camera that our live stream gets you. Hey, you. All right. Hi, guys. For those of you who don't know me already, shame on you. I'm Nathan Moore, running, that thing. I was both the vice president and the director of programs, which has been renamed into director of operations for this semester and for continuing semesters, unless we keep changing things. Other than the fact that I'm the only option, you should vote for me because I've been working really hard to make connections in the industry for us. Working with Sony, Insomniac, Marvel, you've heard me say those names because I think that's really cool. I think it'd be really fantastic to get the opportunity to keep doing that for you. In addition to planning fun events, we're going to be trying to have some kind of get-together in the next few weeks, hopefully, if we ever are allowed to reserve rooms other than Aaron Lane. I guess that's it. Woo! Hold on, let me fix it. Now I feel bad. Ladies and gentlemen, we also have Aaron Taylor for marketing. All right, you feel official now? No, you're not next. Great, come on up. I'm totally going to ruin the bus and tell everybody that Raiden is super nervous right now.
I'm real nervous. Alright, well, my name's Raiden, as you can see on the screen. I'm applying for administration. My credentials for this job, I think, is that back in high school, I had a similar job. It was the Officer of Operations and Training for the JROTC program. And basically, I had to take care of weekly schedules, I had to take care of data, I had to, basically a lot of stuff that's administrative work, and so that's about it. As far as why I want personally to be this leader is because I think this club is something really great, and I think it could be something even great in the future. And in order to become something great, I think that it's really integral for the leadership positions to be some of the people that are competent, and I think that I can be that guy.
Like I said, originally there were supposed to be multiple people for these. Actually, there was for administration, but then one of them dropped out. Aaron, you want to just hop up here and say your name and then hop off?
Sure. The other.
Hey guys, I'm Aaron Taylor, the other Aaron, one of the other Aarons, and I've been director of marketing this past semester with the club started up, and fourth year marketing major, minoring in film, and knowledge of Adobe suites and Microsoft Office and all that. But yeah, so it looks like I'm the only one as well. All right.
All right, so now these next ones have some multiple people, so that's good. So Brian, what do you have, buddy? Put that here. So they're going to go in this order: technical directors, content, and art. Brian will be first, and I will let him take it away.
How's it going, everyone? I'm Brian Gear. I'm going for lead technical, and I'm a third-year computer science major with a minor in mathematics. I have currently 5 years of industry experience in engineering and research and development for a company further down south. We do a lot of optics stuff. A lot more work with mechanical, robotic arm stuff, but in my spare time, I have been already programming some games, minor games. Haven't finished any projects yet, but kind of some complex snake games or puzzle platformers. I code in C#, Java, C++, and I'm starting to get more familiar with software engineering practices like GitHub and sharing code with multiple people. And I've also done a lot of leadership roles. So I led a team of interns at my last work, and I taught them actually the basics of programming. And I also helped other engineers learn some basics of programming as well. So I'm also pretty organized, I like to think. My roommate gives me a hard time for making clean up the apartment, so I try. And I'm really available, so I could pretty much coordinate with the team at any time and make fixes when they need to be made and keep everyone on track. So, yeah. Again, my name is Brian.
Next we have Aaron Gutierrez. Come to the stage, sir.
Hi guys, my name is Aaron Gutierrez. Just a quick thing about background. I've been programming for about 6 years, making games for about 4 years, and the last 2 years exclusively using Unity. I do have a game shipped on Google Play Store, Windows 8 phone. I've been to tons of game jams, hackathon type events, so I've been working with teams, and I think I have a good experience to be able to lead a team. As far as learning goes, this is going to be some people's first game, so I really want an environment where people can learn and work on the things that they really want to accomplish to get into the game industry. So we still need to be able to make progress, so not everyone's going to be able to do the same job. If there's 50 of you that want to work on AI, that can't happen, obviously. I'm always available. I'll be on Skype, phone call, Facebook. If you feel the need to contact me at any time, that should work. And inspiration. I can't personally inspire everyone. That's not going to work, but I hope that you guys are all going to go home over winter break and want to keep making your own games if that's your dream to get into the industry. So, thank you.
Hey guys, I'm Ryan and I'm running to be content director, as you can see. This is my 5th year here at Long Beach, and in regards to content, I like how content is its own department, because when you think of the word content alone, it's kind of small, but when you put into perspective all the time and dedication and commitment required, you can see how much of an impact content has in separating the good games from the masterpieces. I've had some experience working with a friend who works at Riot, makers of League of Legends, and I've actually contributed some ideas for not a whole entire concept of a champion, but for anyone who plays League of Legends, the champion Nami, I've actually contributed a couple ideas towards the creation of that champion. I think when we picture content, there are things we have to consider, such as lasting value, if the story has an emotional impact on some level to the player, and if you're able to play the game after you have beaten it. I personally won't go to the store and drop $60 for a game if I know I'm going to beat it in 2 weeks. and then I have to make sure it also has good reviews. So I think having a game that has a lot of content to last the player, does the game have multiplayer content I play with my friends with? Does the game have secrets I can look for in order to expand the length of the game? Does the game have achievements that I can work towards? These are all things that content plays a huge role in, and these are all ideas that I've contributed into different ideas of the video games that I've had over the past couple of years. I feel like this is a good opportunity for both myself and everyone here to not only expand the growth of this association, but also taking our first stepping stone into what we could actually be doing for the rest of our lives. So, as your content director, I would ensure that whether we're making an iPhone game or an indie game, that we're working towards a game that's going to be real.
My name is Joshua Chan. I'm running for content against Becca. I have to meet, so hopefully I don't lose. Comments, since some of us have to run against other people. So anyway, Ryan made a lot of good points about the importance of content in a game, but I sort of want to specify on how content, if I'm leading the content group, it's not just about content that I have to focus on. It's about our relationship with the other groups. Now, I asked Aaron to put up this picture of essentially Scorpion versus Sub-Zero because I think these two characters are a perfect representation of the marriage between the four disciplines four groups that we have here in this larger group. Essentially, so art determines the colors, sound determines the sound effects, technical determines how these characters fight, but content creates context and gives the player motivation and marries all of the other three together. Sort of forgot what was my point. Thankfully, I have it written down. I'm not actually reading this. Anyway, the point is, it's not just about content. As much as I'd like to make it as much about content, I really want to work with the other groups and learn as much as I can. I have experience as an editor-in-chief for a high school newspaper, but a newspaper is nothing compared to what we're trying to accomplish here. And I'd really like the opportunity to work with all of you and learn as much as I can about all of the departments, not just content. I'm pretty confident as a writer, but I know almost nothing about sound, art, and coding is the word I'm looking for. So if you would please do me the honor of electing me as a content lead, I'd love to work with all of you. Thank you.
Are you up first?
Yeah.
Finish him. Is it?
Yeah, that's not my name.
That's not her name. I spelled it super wrong. How do you spell it?
It's WOHONA, and then that's supposed to be an O. So my name isn't Wahona Delgado. My name is Wahona Delgado. I'm in my 4th year at CSCLB. I'm an art major with a concentration in illustration, and I'm running for art director. And I'm running because I'm passionate about creating an dynamic and exciting visual experience for the game this semester. Last spring, I created all the concept art, the character designs, and almost all the digital assets for my team's game. And it was my first game, so it was like a lot of work and a lot of learning. But it was a really great experience, and I'm just really excited about working on a much larger scale this year with a team of artists. That's something that I'm super excited about. Sorry, a little bit of nervous here. But we need more than just a bunch of talented artists to create a good product. We also need cooperation, direction, energy, and a clear sense of our goal. As your art director, it will be my duty not only to lead you, but also to represent you in the board of directors. But it's not just about the project. It's about you as aspiring professionals. Right now, I'm working with a studio in Long Beach. It's a local studio that teaches kids how to learn disciplines of art from age 5 to high school. And right now she wants me to facilitate talks in which we come in and teach those kids what they need to learn if they want to make video games one day. If they want, she even asked me if I could go in and help teach the kids. And those are the kind of opportunities that mean a lot to us, not only here in the club, because that means younger kids learning about us. A lot of them probably come to Cal State Long Beach, and they already will know who we are, and they probably will have some experience under their belt. But it also means real opportunities, working opportunities for us as artists. That's really important for us. That being said, I want to thank all of you for considering me as your art director, and I hope you have a good semester. Thank you. At the end, it's it.
Is it?
I'm just going to put it in wrong. Sorry.
All right. My name is Trevor Toma. I was the former director of digital content, providing basically the live stream, contributing with the website that we put up. But my qualifications for an art lead is I'm a BFA animation major with a film minor. I've led a couple teams in the 24-hour animation competition, one of them placing in the top 5, only one from our school to do so. I've taught at game design camps for kids, teaching them in different programs, mainly visual editors. I have knowledge and a wide spread when it comes to media arts, whether it's 3D modeling or traditional motion graphics. But what I think for leading an art team is giving them clear direction on where they're supposed to draw inspiration from. Otherwise, it's a chaotic mess, and artists will just get frustrated at not knowing in what direction they're supposed to go to if nothing's congruent. So I think the biggest part is picking an inspiration to pull from and making it clear to everyone on the team, hey, this is where we're pulling from. Give it your own design and your own style, but make sure we're all on the same page. Getting clear directives and just trying to prevent frustration from occurring. So, yeah, that's me in a nutshell.
And I think that's it for the pitches. So go ahead and fill those sheets out. When you're done, just pass them all to the, let's do my right, your left. So whatever row you're in, just pass it all the way that direction. What's up? Yeah. These names?
I just told them
Hold on. I'll get you out. Her name is so unique that her Gmail account is just her name. It's true.
So you want to turn this in, right?
Thanks for doing that, everybody. I know it's kind of a boring part of what we do, but it is essential to what we do. Just one time, let's hear it for all the people who pitched. So moving on, some of the open positions that still need to be filled, in case any of you guys are interested in any leadership opportunities. VP of Finance still needs to be filled. And then also, we have director and lead positions that aren't necessarily game-related, so they're more on the e-board-related side. With that, we need designers, we also need a lead designer, photographers, writers and bloggers for our website, social media people, web administrators, or etc. So like I said last time, if you have any skills that aren't listed here that you think would help contribute to the organization, and you want to get involved in some shape or form, we're definitely totally open to those ideas and those skills. Yeah, so those are some other things that don't require as much effort, but you can still be involved and still have something really positive to put on your resume. Moving on from there, so we're going to go ahead now, just to get a general idea of what we're dealing with and break into kind of teams. So we'll go ahead and do, let's see, where are we going to do it? I guess maybe we'll just do it like kind of all down. Actually, no, we'll do left, down, up. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that. Okay, so let's put all the content people over on this side row. And then we'll put all the technical people all the way in the back.
Give me somewhere close.
Come on, my camera's here. I got a babysitter. Put all the art people up front, and if there's any sound people, they go to the left. Yeah.
I gotta babysit my baby. I don't know if we could be friends anymore at that point. No? No. You'd have to buy me a lot of drinks.
How much did it cost?
That originally is about $2,800. But I make money doing photography, so
It's an investment.
yeah. There's so many more artists this time. I'm so happy.
We've got content, technical, art, and sound. Technical's up there. Art's down here. Content's over there. And then sound's over there. But I don't think any of the sound's over there. Yeah, sound? Woo! Okay, cool. So.
Sorry about that. Better not shake the camera.
Because I know we have sound people too who don't make the meetings because their classes, all the composers, like in Composers Guild and stuff, all their classes run during our meeting time. So there's like 15 of them that don't show up, but they're still fairly involved. But you guys will be in touch with them. Cool, so let's see. Jesus, it's a lot.
Did you get that one? Standing up stage and hiding from me.
Did you count Nathan? I don't know.
He doesn't matter.
He's actually not actually
Okay, cool. So that's kind of a general idea of what we're looking at so far. We have a ton of programmers. Let's get an idea as far as like technical ability. We'll start with the programmers first. Who here is would say like first year or low programming level? And don't be afraid to raise your hand at all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then medium level? Like maybe like a second or third year? I'm probably going to do 4 levels. I'll probably do high and then like expert, but I assume there's
Master
probably
class.
no super experts besides this guy. 78. Okay, that's fine. These are all kind of rough numbers anyway. And then high ability? Woo! That's exciting. Woo! And then expert. Woo! Dig it! Those numbers don't add up, but whatever. Like I said, it's just a general rough idea just to kind of see what we're dealing with. Okay, so for artists, same thing. Low level. Like first year. Don't be shy. Don't be shy at all. Everybody's got a starting point. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then medium. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then high level. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then expert artist. Okay, cool. This guy's raising his hand for everything. Okay, now, quiet down, guys, quiet down. For content, low, like, just as far as, like, I would say in terms of, like,
You know nothing about games?
amount of like creative projects you've worked on. So I mean, if you haven't, been super involved in creative work, you haven't written a lot of stories or things like that, I would consider that low and then go from there. So low level. 1, 2, 2, 1, 1. All right. Medium level. 1, 2, 3. Obviously, content's a lot harder, but and then high level. What, Steve? Because you're graduated, you don't raise your hand anymore?
Our ghost member will always have one member. He'll be here forever.
Yeah, we'll always have one. Okay, cool. So I just wanted to kind of get that just for the leads and for the executives for when we meet next time. We can kind of start discussing things. Also, this will play into next time we meet. We'll use this kind of information to kind of play into kind of giving advice on which games would probably suit us well. Obviously, we have a lot of programmers, and a lot of high-level programmers too. So we might be able to work on something more complex than we initially thought, but we will see. Okay, so done with that. Moving on. This is to answer wherever you went your question before about things you might have missed. Where'd you go? There you are. So I just want to remind people about our communication links. OrgLink, if you haven't already registered and gotten on there with our organization, go ahead and do that. You're not officially a member until you get on there. The newsletter, there's the URL. There's also the Facebook group, the website, and Trello. Before I continue, though, I wanted to show you guys where to get caught up if you miss a meeting. We do have our live streaming site, which is our YouTube channel, which is, I think it's VGDA Long Beach. If you search that in YouTube, we'll pop up. We're live streaming on there right now. But also on our website, I want to show you where you guys go to get our minutes and also the PowerPoints. Because I know I flashed these links up here, and you guys are like, well, I didn't have time to write those down or whatnot. Basically, if you go into resources, this is our homepage. If you go into resources, then minutes, Then general, these are the general meetings. You can click on those, and if the school's internet works, there we go. So this is from our last meeting, so that's 9-2. So we'll click on that. And so this is how all the minutes will look. Basically, it has kind of a rundown of what happened during the meeting, so you can get caught up. But another important thing is right here at the top, there's a link to the PowerPoint. So if you don't remember those links or something like that, these minutes should be posted after each meeting. So you should be able to go on there and click the PowerPoint, and then you'll have all the links and all the information accessible to you. So I just want to show you guys that real quick, because it's really useful, whether you've missed a meeting or you just want to look something up. So anyways, I talked about Trello earlier. So Trello, like I mentioned last time, is going to be the collaborative software that we use for all these groups to work together. Each group will have their own Trello that they will, have their own tasks in that. So Art might have their own Trello board with a concept art list and a 3D art list and all these different lists. And then underneath those lists, they can delegate to individual people. So each group will have something like that. But then there's an overall arching board that contains all those, and it's called an organization, which is where technical art content will all be. So we can all see what everybody's doing, but it also goes down small enough that you can see what individuals are doing. So we can all be on the same page. So what I highly, highly, highly recommend you guys do is just go on to Trello and create an account. You don't have to be worried at all about getting invited to the actual board yet. I just want to make sure everybody has it so that when we do finally decide on our game, then all it takes is an invite and then you guys are already in. You guys don't have to figure out how to sign up or things like that. So that's one piece of homework for you, is to go and create a Trello account. It's Trello.com. Use whatever email you like best. And then I know I went over this last time. I wanted to touch on it one more time, only because next week is when we're actually pitching. Nathan, how many pitches have we gotten in so far?
I believe we have 4 pitches so far. So keep submitting, guys.
Yeah, and I know there's a ton of people out there too who've written them and haven't submitted them yet. We do need to see them before the day of the pitching so that we can give you some constructive feedback on just basically things like feasibility and whether or not the grammar and things are right. Just so when you give your pitch, you have a really good chance of people accepting it and liking your idea and things like that, just based off the pitch, not necessarily the content. So the game pitch sheet, you can find it on our website, which is, if we go to home, I'm going to show you the 2 ways you can find it. You can click on this massive thing, and it'll take you there. Or underneath the dev blog, you click that, and it'll basically take you to the same link. And then pitch your game idea, so look for the question mark. And this has all the instructions on how to download the sheet, how to fill it out, and the process for pitching your idea. It has all the dates and all that stuff like that too. So this is where you'd want to be if you are thinking about pitching a game idea. What's next? Like I said last time, no AAA titles like David was saying too. We're not going to make World of Warcraft. It's not going to happen. Feasibility, we have 8 weeks. Think about the whole picture like we just saw right now. We have a ton of programmers. So a game that has a lot of puzzles, for instance, might be good because programmers of all levels can program their own puzzles, and we can plug those into the game at various points. So if you want to do like some type of side-scrolling point-and-click adventure game or something like that with a lot of puzzles, that might work for our group. And then practice your pitch or write it out and read it. I think it's actually a good idea when people who are very nervous to literally just write it out and read it, because at least they still get their idea across instead of stumbling and being nervous and things like that. There's the sample pitch sheet. You can click on that. There's one that's already filled out so you can get a general idea. Timeline. We went over this. This is all in the previous PowerPoint. I just wanted to briefly touch on these again. The important thing, though, is that next week is the deadline. So next week is when we'll be voting on this. So anyways, for the final thoughts, next meeting, Tuesday, 9/16 at 4 o'clock in this room again. We'll be voting on the games. Get your game pitch submitted, like I said. Seriously consider a leadership position, whether it's the VP of Finance or it's one of the other positions, which is the writers, or the admins or the social media people. If you want to get involved, it's such a great thing to do. You meet so many people, and it's such a great thing to have on your resume that I highly encourage all of you to seek some type of leadership position, whether it's in this organization or not. Just sometime before you exit college, get in some type of leadership position. Create a fellow account, register on OrgSync, join the Facebook, and subscribe to the email list. And does anybody have any questions? No?
We need to get interviewed first for the position.
So the executive and game lead, that's a great question about it. Executive and game lead positions, those are interview type positions, but the rest of the positions are technically listed as ad hoc positions, so those you do not have to get interviewed for. It's mainly, it's like a pseudo interview process. Basically, you would just come talk to us and we kind of talk it out, and if it's a good fit, then we say yeah, but you don't have to go through this whole like pitching thing. No, so, well, I mean, you definitely can, but keep in mind you only have 5 minutes. If a PowerPoint helps you convey your idea, I highly encourage you to do that, but keep in mind you do only have 5 minutes, so that's, you have to put it on a computer, get it started, and things like that. It's going to be a very strict 5 minutes, so it's like right when it hits 5, it's done. So, if you are still talking about your idea and you haven't gotten across, we have to end it, just because we're going to have that many, we should have that many pitches. Any other questions? No? Awesome. Well, thanks to everybody who showed up. I'm going to go to the other room. It's totally optional. That other room right now is just for if people want to continue talking, things like that. But yeah, thanks everybody.
What's the room number again?
VEC 322. So if you want to head over there, you can. Thanks for coming, guys.
You want to turn off the screen for me? It's cool, man.